hate that drink that you have in your hand.
Why? It's an up and go for everyone playing at home.
I
really
hate up and goes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why?
What do you mean? It's like Wheat Bix in a cup.
Thick.
It's disgusting.
It's a thick boy.
Nah.
It's a big butted drink.
I could never.
Really?
I always wanted to get around up and go, but I just couldn't. The texture, and it's just too much.
I love an up and go.
I've never liked the taste of them either.
So good. Have you tried all the flavors?
No, because I tried one and I said this is.
Was it chocolate?
I don't think so.
Well, that's your problem.
Nah. Can I try a little bit of that?
Yeah.
Let me.
This one's a protein one, so.
Oh, great! It's gonna make me fart like there's no tomorrow. Hang on.
Like the texture, because it's thick.
Nah. Nah. There's something in there. I don't know how to.
Do you want to wash it down?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Nah.
That's delicious.
It's giving like alternative milk, and I don't like alternative milk.
Stunning. Give me 14 of them right now.
That's also controversial. No, I will drink Zymul milk.
I thought you said I will drink lasagna.
I'll drink Zymul, but other than that, I'm a full cream, normal cow's milk.
So I've been drinking oat milk for like a while now.
Yeah.
And I went to McDonald's and I got a sausage and egg McMuffin meal. And I'd already made a coffee, but I was like, oh, I'll get another one. But I couldn't be bothered paying extra for oat milk. So I was like, oh, I'll just get skim. Disgusting. Normal milk tastes foul.
Are you kidding me?
Foul.
Oat milk tastes foul.
Like I can't do full or skim. Like it just has such a weird flavour. And I'm like, is this off?
This is coming from the person who drinks oat milk.
Oat milk is delicious.
No, it's not. It tastes disgusting. I hate oat milk. I hate soy milk. I hate...
Nah.
What's the other one? Almond milk. It's all disgusting.
Almond milk is okay. Soy milk, no. Coconut milk, yuck.
It's just, none of that needed to happen.
But oat, delicious.
It's not.
Delicious. I can't do lactose, really. Like I notice a different, like I can eat it, but I'm even more of a size of I'm a bigger balloon than what I normally am.
Right, okay.
But yeah, no, love and up and go. And I feel like this is normal milk.
It would be.
Skim milk powder.
See, maybe that's the taste.
Powder, though.
Yeah, so, that's fucked.
I don't know. Anyway, delicious. What's good? What's happening? What's going on? It fits into the cup holder. That's
nice.
Love that.
I've been awake since 5 a.m.
We both have.
Because this morning we did the Live Fearless challenge walk down at the River Torrens with all the girly and the boy. What are we calling the boy? The girly pops. You're just all a girly pop. Deal with it.
Tom's a girly pop. He's a certified girly pop.
Tom is an absolute certified girly pop. Arguably could be co-president of the girly pops.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. When he's on a bike, unstoppable.
Oh, my God.
An unstoppable girly
he's
pop.
Just taking
he's
part
yapping. Every erg effort. Just... running the legs and the mouth.
And I'm like, Tom, I can't hear you over the music. And just yap.
I love it though. I'm like, tell me more.
I love it. And then this morning when he had us playing the weekly 50.
He's like, keep going.
Yeah, he's like, we're doing all 50 questions.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is the energy that I want from like people that I hang around with.
Oh dear.
So we did that. Did a nice cheeky stroll around the River Torrens. I'm feeling good, dude. Sun's out.
You're going to be an absolute menace today.
Yeah, I am. And I'm allowed to be.
And everyone will simply observe because everyone else has work tomorrow.
Nah.
You're putting on a show.
No, I'm going to behave, but I'm definitely going to have a few drinks.
Oh, it'd be rude not to.
I'm going to boogie my little tush off. I quickly mopped my house, like just spot mopped the main area before I came here.
No one's going to be inside anyway.
No, if you're inside my house, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, and just to surprise everyone at home, I have no show notes.
How the turntables.
Yeah.
How the turntables.
I'm winging it.
Yeah, truly. So another loss in netball this week.
Yeah.
7-15.
Yeah.
We were down by 2 at one point, which was very impressive.
We're actually we're a good team. We play really well. We just don't have a shooter. Like we don't have someone who that's their
designated shooter.
Yeah. Everyone's trying to fill a gap and it's just not working.
There is no active shooter in the building when we play.
So if anyone who has fantastic shooting skills is free on a Wednesday night near the Marion YMCA, please put your hand up.
You know who I think we should really try to recruit?
Who?
Leah.
Yeah.
Now, I simply say that because I know she's played basketball.
She's
She's got experience with a hoop.
She said she was keen, but...
And she do be tall.
When I messaged her last time as a fill-in, she was keen, but she had false nails on. That's why she couldn't.
All right, Leah, I'm going to bite those fuckers off for you. We
Next time
need you for this one. Like caught on the cob.
Her fingers are like bleeding everywhere.
I'm like, thank you for your time. Yes, and then before netball, we've had a lot of movements and events happening in the Slater family, and a lot of people wanted to get an update, aka no one, and me and Caitlin were sitting in our car and we were like, we should just make a newsletter.
I've been joking for a while, like half joking, half not, that I should start a family newsletter because I just like the concept of it.
It's just, yeah. You know when you've got so many updates and you've got so many people that you need to tell, but you hate repeating yourself. Yeah. This fixes that problem.
Exactly.
So Caitlin, immediately after netball, fucking sped made a newsletter.
It looks so good.
It looks dope. It looks so professional. It's circulated it to all of the family members' emails.
All 12 members.
And there's like little sections on updates. There's upcoming events.
Yeah, it starts with, it's called Slater Scoop. And picture the logo has like an ice cream, like sundae cup with ice cream in it and all of that. And then on the cup it says Scoop. And then the opening part was like an intro paragraph being like, welcome to Slater Scoop. And then there's a button where people can submit their scoop and like anonymous goss. Then
like Dumois.
Yeah, like Dumois. Then we had a netball update. Mm-hmm. Then we had like Mark's live dino account for his video game. Yep. We had a holiday recap for Jack and Alana's holiday and then the Fiji trip. Mm-hmm. We had a bit about like last week's pod episode for people to listen. What else was in there? There was definitely the family what's on calendar down the bottom for upcoming events. There's so much in this week's. I've already started working on this week's calendar. We've had some idea submissions.
Excellent. And I love that.
Okay, so the thing that is frustrating me the most is Dad's dad, so Pa, is on the list. Mm-hmm. And I thought of everyone that's going to love this, it's going to be
Pa,
him.
Yeah.
Because I just picture him reading it to Nana and like them
having
getting
a little chuckle.
They're getting like all the updates, right?
Yeah.
Hasn't opened it. Because I can see who's opened it and he's the only person who hasn't opened it. Yeah. I see him next weekend. So I'll be like, what the fuck? I've been messaging people in the family like, why hasn't he opened it?
No response.
No response. No idea. So spoilers for next week's
I want to know.
EDM.
Give me the inside scoop on the inside scoop.
So there will be like obviously the netball update, what's on calendar, all of that. So I found out that there is CCTV of Dad going to the farm and he didn't have the code, and because he was meant to go check on Nana and Pa and he forgot, so he went the next day. And he didn't have the code and Nana wasn't letting him in, so he jumped the fence and there's CCTV of it.
You need to get that CCTV.
So I'm getting my hands on the CCTV footage and I've written a neighborhood watch section about a middle-aged man breaking and entering. So that's going to be in there. What else is in next week? I've got like Nana's TV weekly recap. Because if you ask her, like, have you been watching anything on TV lately? Because that's all she does is watch free to air. And she goes, nope, it's all crap. And so I put on there, it's all crap. An updated dino live count for Mark.
Is this like a Jurassic Park video game or something?
Yeah, it's called like Ark Survival, I think is what he's playing.
Oh, yeah, we played that.
Yes.
I hate that game.
He keeps killing all of his dinosaurs keep getting killed.
Well, I had like a point where I was playing it solo. And either that or I was playing it with Stuart. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I had all of my shit like on me, like the resourcing genius that I am. And then I was going into like tall grass and then a snake fucking ate me. Like ate me. Like I could see my body in the snake. And I was like, what do you mean? And I lost all my stuff.
Yeah. That'll piss you off.
Made me real mad. Hated it.
Yeah, Dad keeps like recruiting all these dinosaurs.
I love that.
And so to get them, you have to like knock them out unconscious.
You have to ride them, don't you?
Poison them.
Yeah.
And then when they wake up, they're like obsessed with you and they think that you're their owner.
I love that.
And then you can ride them.
Yeah.
So he's had like upwards of 40 at certain points.
Oh my God.
A bigger dinosaur will come along and wipe them all out, and he has to start.
Yeah, it's such a frustrating game.
Yeah.
Because like no matter how far you get into it, there's always going to be a dinosaur bigger than you.
Yeah. So it's so funny.
And those little tiny fucking fuckers, like I don't know.
That's pretty much all he has.
Raptors,
and a few alligators.
Maybe?
Yeah.
They keep stealing my shit. They go into my chest and steal my stuff. What do you need this tooth for, doll? You've got like fucking 50 million. Come on.
Yeah, so that's in there. There's heaps of updates for Jamie and Brody, like with their house.
Yep.
Jamie's nursing.
Yep.
I'm going to put a segment in. I've put a segment in there being like, after all this time, we finally figured out what Brody does at Central's. And it'll be a photo of him holding up the red
holding
card.
that cardboard. Yep.
So next week's is good. I'm excited.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I love it, honestly. The best.
It's looking great. So that's what I did this week. That's why I don't have any show notes, because I've been busy sending out emails to people.
Fucking, that's it. Busy giving the inside goss.
And then today, it's Margarita Sunday.
It is, because it's someone's 30th birthday on Wednesday, ladies and gents.
Someone in this room is turning 30.
Whose name rhymes with Fatelin.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
So yeah, having a house. I'm just gonna call it a house party at this point. Oh, there's actual boogers all over my shirt.
Yeah, I reckon one got into my eye on the drive home. Are you excited about turning 30?
I am. I've been excited for a while, and I've said this a million times, but I'm going to say it again, because everyone says your 30s are like your 20s, but with more money. So I'm excited for that. And I don't know, I just feel like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I'm more chill.
Absolutely.
Don't care. Just excited to live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
And I like the sound of 30. So
a nice round number.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not like freaking out like most people.
Yeah. I like that. Cool, calm and collected.
Yeah, I'm excited.
What's going to be your first drink today?
Oh, I'm making a margarita. I'm going to make a coconut
a
margarita.
How do you make a what's in a margarita? Like tequila, obviously.
Okay, I've looked at so many recipes. I can tell you off the top of my head.
Margarita.
So it's going to be tequila. I'm going to get normal tequila and coconut tequila.
Yeah.
So it's tequila of your choice. Then it's Contro, like orange liqueur.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then you put lime juice.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So if you make one, please reserve me some. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. There'll be heaps there. Don't stress.
Are you going to make a jug?
Nah.
Yeah. Good call.
I'm just going to make them individually, because then the liquid gets hot.
Yeah. So fair. What else has been happening? I keep putting my phone
We went to a quiz night on Friday.
Where my notes are.
For Live Fearless Challenge. And we came fourth. We fucking killed it. Out of 9. That's I reckon the highest I've ever come at a quiz night.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with the result. Our team name was We Are Eating the Pets. And I think that is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Literally. So that's kind of ties into pop culture a little bit. So Kamala Harris and Donald Trump had their presidential debate this week. And it was hosted by the ABC network in Philly. And one thing led to another. And then Trump ended up referring to a tweet where an anonymous person claimed that Haitian immigrants were stealing and eating pets in Springfield, Ohio. And so Donald Trump's like, in Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people who came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And then, like, it literally cuts to, like, a fact checker on the side. And they're like, we can confirm that Ohio police have said that no one has made reports of stolen or consumed pets. So, and I just think that's the funniest thing ever. They're eating the dogs. Yeah, they're eating the cats.
Right. And then there was like, at one point they're talking about abortion and he's like, they're aborting kids after 9 months. And it's like, dude, that's just called a school shooting.
Like a post-birth abortion.
Yeah.
What?
And then there's like TikToks of like grown ass adult women who they'll be sitting there and they're like keeping an eye on my mum just in case she decides to do a post-birth abortion on me.
What do you mean?
And I understand how he appeals and why he appeals to certain people.
Yeah.
But it just blows my mind because it's like that thing where you're like, how do you not see it for what it really is? That's what gets me.
Yeah. Bananas. I'm so intrigued to follow how long do they have to vote?
I think the election's in November.
Is it like one day where everyone votes?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Right. I can't wait to follow that because I don't know how it's going to go.
I truly believe when it was Trump against Biden, I was like, Trump's got it in the bag. There is no doubt.
Oh,
now, I reckon Kamala's going to win.
You reckon?
I reckon she's going to win. So
how iconic if she does.
I know. There is no way that you're going to be able, that anyone could sway people who have already decided that they're voting for Trump. But it's the swing voters and the people who weren't registered to vote.
Yeah, the people who didn't plan to. Yeah.
They're the people she's capturing. And I think she's doing a great job.
And there's quite a few.
Yeah. Particularly like younger audiences. They had no interest in voting. And
especially because this week as well, Taylor Swift came out as backing Kamala too. And that'll...
Yeah.
Like...
Registration skyrocketed off the back of that. Registration skyrocketed off the back of Kamala announcing that she was running for president. Yeah, I really think she's going to win. I would be very surprised if she didn't win.
Yeah.
So.
Intriguing. In other pop culture news... Dave Grohl, the 55-year-old frontman of the Foo Fighters, announced the birth of his daughter on Instagram this week, and his daughter was born outside of his current marriage.
Isn't that crazy?
Dun, dun, dun! So he's been married to his wife Jordan Blum for 21 years, or Bloom? No, Blumhouse. Blum. Yeah. So the post read, quote, "I've recently become the father of a new baby daughter born outside of my marriage. I plan to be a loving and supportive parent to her. I love my wife and my children, and I'm going to do everything I can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness. We're grateful for your consideration towards all the children involved as we move forward together." And so Jordan and Dave have 3 kids together.
Yeah.
That rocks me.
I read
proof that men are men.
Yeah. I read a blind item. I don't know if it's Sue Dumois or where. Apparently, Dave Grohl hasn't been living in the family home for a while. They had another property that they'd renovated for Jordan's business, and he's been living there.
Yeah, right.
He's seen the baby's been born. He's seen the baby. The family haven't, his wife and kids haven't met the baby at all, and Jordan's figuring out what she's gonna do next, kind of thing. But they believe that divorce is on the cards.
Well, I mean, I don't know how you would bounce back from that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I could never,
particularly if the first you're hearing about his affair is because he's having a child. That would make it even worse.
Nah, that's crazy.
I know, right?
Crazy.
That's Dad's 55. That's like Marky Mark being like, here's a new child.
Surprise, it's not yours. It's mine, though.
It's a new child.
Yeah.
I'd be like, you can delete that. We can do an after-birth abortion. Thank you very much.
Trump, we need to figure it out.
Now I understand where Trump's coming from. Yeah.
Trump is a Jordan stan.
I can't. Yeah. It's just mind-boggling, and so many people thought Dave Grohl was the good guy, and there were so many people who were old tweets are resurfacing of people being like, Dave Grohl, they could never make me hate you, and then those people are retweeting their own tweets, being like, oh, this didn't age well. I take this back.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Not all men, but all men.
Yeah.
Oh dear, so grotty.
Big yikes. That's all I had for pop culture.
Well, the VMAs were this week.
I'll be honest. Yeah.
The VMAs were this week. So Sabrina Carpenter and Chappell Roan took home some awards. They both did performances. Chappell Roan did a Joan of Arc inspired performance of of the set. And there was fire and shit was burning down, and she performed Good Luck Babe, and it was phenomenal. So good.
If she toured Australia, I think I would travel for her.
Okay, interesting.
Like, I would do, like, Melbourne.
Yeah, okay.
I'd do a Melbourne trip. I feel like she would be a really good show to see live.
Yeah. I feel like she'd abuse us.
She would spit in my face.
But I'd pay for that to happen.
But I'd give her a round of applause.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter performed a medley of Taste, Please, 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 and Espresso. And that...
I love that. I love a medley.
It was... I know.
Yeah.
More medleys, please.
Yeah.
That was so good. She sounded incredible. Just perfect. It was so, so good. Katy Perry did a performance because didn't she win like Vanguard or something of the year?
Yeah, right.
And she did this performance where she was like scissoring someone on stage.
Oh.
It was really weird. And like, what were people saying? People were like, when straight women try and use Lebanese. When straight women try and use lesbianism for clout.
Oh, yeah.
And I do feel like that like
yeah.
that's a step that is 100% like queer baiting.
Yeah.
It was just for a song that like nothing else had anything to do with it. It just like Sabrina Carpenter made out with a female alien during Taste. But like it kind of makes sense because Taste is about like you have the taste
like
of
an
me.
ex getting with an ex and
so like you taste me. Like it made sense.
Yeah.
Katy Perry didn't make sense. She's just scissoring someone on stage at the VMAs.
Yeah, right.
It was a bit weird.
I didn't watch, so I can't comment, but yeah, that sounds jarring.
I feel like Katy Perry is trying really hard to be relevant.
To stay relevant, yeah.
And like have her come back. But rather than doing it authentically to herself, she's trying too hard to tap into like Gen Z.
Yeah.
And it's not coming across as authentic. And that's why people are probably not receiving it well and questioning things, even if she's doing it with good intentions. It just feels off. And I'm like, dude, where has this come from?
Yeah.
It's 100%. A bit weird.
Especially when like all of the like rising pop stars, especially the female ones now, they're being very true to who they are as a person.
Yeah.
Like very much Chappell Roan being like,
fuck everyone.
Yeah, like I have boundaries. I'm not going to push them out because fans want me to. And then like Sabrina Carpenter with her lyrics and like being real cheeky with those and stuff. Like I feel,
it feels a bit icky. But then
Katy Perry's just trying a bit too hard.
Yeah. One of my favourite moments was when Chappell Roan was doing the carpet and some photographer, God knows why, yelled out, "Shut the fuck up."
Oh.
And Chappell Roan turned around and lost it. She was
Good.
like, "Don't tell me to shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up." She's so funny. She's just always angry.
Yeah.
And like, sometimes at first I'm like, whoa, calm down. But then like, I'm like, no, this is actually hilarious. And people are like, we need an angry female pop star.
Yeah, I love it.
Everyone's too nice.
Feminine rage, more of that.
Yeah, that's what people
Main
are saying.
course.
Yeah, it does spice it up a little bit.
Like, yeah, just call people out on their shit.
So yeah, that was pretty funny to see her. And she was like, if I was the photographer, if I was on the receiving end of that, I would have been scared. I would have gone home.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
She had like these really long nails and she's like pointing at him. I was like,
Don't
scared.
poke my eye out.
That was pretty much the VMAs in a nutshell, to be honest. Taylor Swift just doing her dancing, like weird dancing on the sidelines.
God bless.
She got heaps of traction because she thanked Travis specifically in her
award
speech.
Watch out.
But that was pretty much it. I feel like other than that, it was pretty vanilla.
Yeah, I haven't really heard anything.
Award shows, like, you don't need to sit there and watch the whole thing. Just watch the highlights.
Yeah, it's not worth.
They're not that good anymore.
Yeah.
Britney Spears had shit to say about Sabrina Carpenter's performance, though.
Really?
She posted a video
questioning
why Sabrina was making out with
an alien.
With an alien. And I don't think Britney clocked that it was a female alien, but she was like, why is she kissing an alien? Why isn't she just kissing a girl like I did or something? I don't know. It was weird to see Britney come out and say something. I forget that Britney has autonomy.
Yeah. She has a voice.
And I'm like, who let you post this?
She did.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, let's take that away. That's it pretty much. Yeah, that's really all that's been happening, I feel.
Yeah, I feel slow news week.
Yeah.
Slow news week.
But that's fine. What have you been watching?
I'm so glad you asked. I have been watching, me and Nikki binged through Worst Ex Ever. So it's a 4-part series on Netflix. It's by Blumhouse Productions.
Yeah.
So it's the same people that also did Worst Roommate Ever.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So we started watching that as well. That's crazy too. But oh my days. So there's 4 episodes, which is a dream for me because anything super long in terms of like series or episodes, and I'm like, too much commitment. Can't do that. But these stories are crazy.
So I started watching it, but I wasn't paying attention. So everything you can spoil it.
Crazy.
But it's all going to be
I'm
new
only
to me.
going to spoil one because I feel like this one, all of them are absolutely bananas, but this one like had the most like forward planning out of all of them kind of.
Yeah.
So yeah, highly recommend all the episodes. So in this one, there's this woman and she, after graduating high school, I think she goes to maybe Wall Street, I think, and she becomes something to do with finance.
She becomes a finance bro.
Yeah, she literally becomes a finance bro. And I think her family might be Indian. Anyway, irrelevant. But her dad has 2 jobs to keep the family afloat. So he has one job and then he's maybe like a cleaner or something. Anyway, something like that. And then he also owns a taxi business. So ever since she was young, she always wanted to own her own business and like follow in her dad's footsteps. So she saves up her money and she buys this restaurant called the Golden Crust. And to me, you think that it's a pizza place. Yeah. But it's Jamaican food, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And so she's working on that. She also has a kid on the side too. So she's supporting her. She's doing her 2 jobs. And she's just like, I just really enjoy being busy and like having things to do. And I'm like, girl, just sit down for
just
a sec.
Chill out.
What thoughts are you running away from, doll?
Steph at work is like this where we were talking about it the other day and she's like already busy as it is. And she's like, I want to volunteer here and I want to do this and I want to do that. I was like, have you ever considered just laying down?
Just sitting, just being still.
Just lay the fuck down.
Yeah, I just couldn't be me. So, and she was saying that because she was so busy, she didn't really have time to like look for a romantic relationship, which is fair. And then this guy comes into her restaurant one day and like asks her out. They hit it off and he's apparently... Sometimes he says that he's a cop with, I think, LAPD, and then other times he says that he's, like, undercover, and sometimes he says he's a detective, so he's something to do with the police, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so they kind of, after a while, they start dating officially, but they don't move in together or anything, so they see each other, like, at nights and on weekends and stuff. And so... they're at her house one night and she's they're at the restaurant and she has a little office in the basement downstairs. And so she's out in the office doing things for her business or whatever and he's upstairs and the woman gets a call and she's like, oh, hello, like, are you so-and-so? And she's like, yeah, that's me. She's like, oh, are you with Jerry right now? So Jerry's a guy. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, oh, you should know that I'm his wife and we've been married for X amount of years. And she's like, excuse me? And so she's like divulging all of this information. And then the wife is like, oh, has he told you that he's a cop? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, oh, well, that's not true. So like she's pretty much finding out that everything that he's told her is an absolute lie. So she confronts him. And he admits to having a wife, but that he's like, they're separated at the moment and to like not believe the wife because she's trying to make all this stuff up so that he can't be happy And like, it's very much like they've split, like, and she's like, no, I don't trust a single thing you're saying. Like, we're done. Yeah. We're done. So, he's like gone. He's like, okay, fine, whatever. He's gone off. I think he has like a key to her house or something.
Of course he does.
Still. And so a couple of months pass and she calls him up and she's like, look, I need the spare key to my house back. Like, we're not getting back together. I need it back. He's like, yep. Okay, cool. So he drives to her house. He meets her there and he's like knocking on the back door. I don't know why he's knocking on the back door, if it's just set up like the back of the house is the way you get in, you know? And he's like trying to beg her to come back into his life. He's like, we can work it out. Like, you know, I made mistakes, but like I see how I went wrong, blah, 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 blah. And she's not having it. She's like, no, that's not happening. And so she goes to turn around, I think, or she lets him in for some reason. Like, he's asking her to like let him in so that they can have a chat. And he's like, I'll give you the key. Like, I just want to go in and like get closure. She's like, yep, okay. So she lets him in. She turns around to walk like through the hallway to go to the kitchen or whatever. He clocks her on the back of the head. She like falls to the ground or whatever. He drags her downstairs into her basement and sexually assaults her. And then he ups and leaves. Or before that, he's like, don't tell anyone about this. If you tell anyone about this, I'll kill you. And then he ups and leaves. And so she's like, what just happened? She's like stunned. She waits like maybe 15 or 20 minutes, runs to the window, or like before that, runs to the window to check to see that he has left, which he has. And she waits like another 15 to 20 minutes and then she calls the cops. And so she gets taken to hospital. She does a rape kit and his DNA is found there. And so they have that on record and she files a report. And so she ends up wanting to press charges. So they have a court date set. And then some time goes by up until the court hearing, because that's like a while away. And she's driving. I can't remember where she's going. I think she's going to meet up with family. And she's driving and she gets pulled over by the cops. And the cops are like, are you so-and-so? And she's like, yep. She shows her license. And then they arrest her then and there and take her into the cop car. They take her into the cop car and then they end up driving to Long Island, I think she said. And she gets put immediately into like an interview room. And they're asking her like, what were you doing on this date? And like, are you going to tell us what you did? Like, what was your plan? And she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, I don't know why I'm here. And like, no one tells her a single thing. Like, they don't tell her what she's being arrested for. They don't tell her why they're interviewing her. And so it turns out that in Long Island and then I think New York as well, maybe. Yeah, it's got to be because they're kind of close to one another.
Yeah. On
2 separate occasions, there were people that were held at gunpoint and robbed, either at their home, I think, and in their car. And both of them reported like similar appearances and characteristics of the assailant. So like a dark-skinned Indian-looking woman. She had a gun. She was impersonating a policeman. Got held up at gunpoint, stole my stuff, and like one of them like called 911 and all of this. So they were like, that's what she was getting held for. Because they had like a lineup and then both of the victims identified her as the woman. So that lady's photo as the person that was robbing everyone. But she didn't know it at the time. And so she was held for ages. And then I can't remember. Anyway, she ends up finding out what she's being held for. And she's like, there's no way that that's me. Like, I know for a fact that that's not me.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we have eyewitness identification. Like, both of the victims have identified you as being the perpetrator. So, like, you're going to trial.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes to trial. And then I can't remember what happens. Just very soz about the lack of detail. But anyway, she gets held in prison for like, I think it's almost 8 months.
Jesus Christ.
8 months. And anyway, things happen, and then you find out, and you're like, how does this link? Because also when she's getting interviewed, the police officer that's interviewing her has a folder, and out of the folder slips out a photo of Jerry. And she's like, if you think it's me that did that, it's Jerry that's setting me up. Like 100% he's framing me. Like I'm telling you, like there is no way that I've done this. Like I would never do that. And then they have an interview with one of the police women that interviewed her. And she was like, you could tell when we interviewed her that she had no idea what was going on. Like she couldn't have like set up a robbery. Like she didn't know how to rob anyone.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that, like I knew that there was no way that it could have been her, but we had this eyewitness identification or whatever. And so the whole time she's like pleading with the police to like look into Jerry's profile. Like I've got a trial coming up with him about a sexual assault case. Like he's framing me for that so that like that gets dropped. Like, and no one could figure out how Jerry tied into all of it. And so no one really in the police department, no one really thought to look into it until I think it was maybe like her defense lawyer maybe. But turns out Jerry, after she broke up with him, went like looking for people to like stage a robbery and falsely identify her as the culprit so that she wouldn't be able to make the trial and it would make her look really suspicious, and then the rape charge against him would be dropped. So he got, I think it was his cousin and then a friend of his cousin to like call the 911, give the profile, identify this woman as the perp when they were never robbed or anything. Ever. Yeah.
Did he get found out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he go to jail?
Yeah. So I think he's still in jail because also crazy. So because she was up for armed robbery and I think impersonating a cop, and there was a couple of other things, she was looking at 80 years in prison.
Oh my days. 80
years. And like through that time that she was away for the 8 months, like her restaurant went under because she did everything in the restaurant. Like her family didn't know how to take it over. Her daughter was without their mother, like all of this. She also owned the family home, but because she wasn't working, obviously, because she was in jail, it went into foreclosure.
Oh no.
And so like she pretty much lost everything in the 8 months that she was in prison. And so, yeah, he was found guilty. And I think he got maybe life in prison, maybe. I can't remember. Or maybe 25. No, because he got less than what she was up for, which rocked my mind.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
surprise me.
Surely framing someone is like a billion times worse than impersonating a cop. That's crazy.
And the sexual assault element of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, and like she says something in it, like the years might be a little bit off, but she's like, what really blew my mind was that I was up for 80 years, but this man sexually assaults me and he's only up for like 11.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Huh?
That's very American, and like not even just America, but like justice systems in general.
Crazy. And so she ends up suing the original police people that interviewed her. Yeah. Because she was like, they knew about Jerry. They had his photo in the folder. They didn't do their due diligence and like look him up or look into his profile. Like if they did that work earlier on, they would have realized that I was getting set up.
Also, like, how is it that someone can frame you and you lose everything and you don't get that back? Like, I feel like there should be some scheme where if that happens to you, you get all of it back.
Yeah, it's like take backsies.
Yeah, like a reverse, like give it back to me. That reverse card.
Yeah, like that wasn't my fault.
Like that's not fair. How do you lose everything for something that you didn't even do, and then you come out and the justice system is just like, well, shit happens.
Literally. Well, she ends up suing the police officers and she's successful and she ends up getting $2 million for the ordeal.
Yeah.
And there's like other bits in the episode and it's honestly, it's just absolutely crazy. But I was like, who goes into that much effort to bring an ex down?
People are shit.
That is
men
insane.
Are horrible. That's the theme.
That literally is the theme. And then the other really interesting theme throughout the series is in each episode, if the police were more reactive to what the women were reporting, the people that died wouldn't have died. Or like it could have been nipped in the bud a whole lot sooner. Like every single episode, there's one where either the police aren't listening to the woman or they're not doing enough to protect the victims from the people that are abusing them. And it's just like they're doing the right thing. They're reporting it, but no one's doing anything about it. Like like a lot of them are set in like before COVID. So like, you know, and you can really see how police don't do anything unless something happens. Yeah. When it's too late. And it's just, it's so frustrating.
They say that about domestic violence in Australia, like particularly, what was it, earlier this year when the conversation around domestic violence really like went up a notch because of the number of women being murdered. And people were like, because it's true, like most of these women had like reported the men in the instance and like whatever had happened. And then it was always a matter of, well, we can't help you unless he actually physically hurts you. Yeah. And it's like, okay, so for you to actually help me, I have to die. That's what you're telling me.
There's like one episode and this guy's like abusing this woman and she gets like, I don't know if it's a restraining order or something similar. And the police go, because the guy's like living at her house, the police go to the house to deliver the order, and he's not there. And so they're like, well, that's all we can do. We'll leave the papers here. And she's like, so what? You're going to leave me here and like I have to just wait for him to get home and get these papers? Like he's going to do something to me like the minute he sees that paperwork. And they're like, yeah, well, he's not here now, so we can't do anything about that.
And that's the
I'm like,
thing.
What? What?
AVOs do nothing.
Yeah.
It's just a nice piece of paper that says, hey, you probably shouldn't go within this distance of someone. It doesn't actually physically stop anyone.
No one's reinforcing it.
No.
Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, a paper's not going to stop someone.
No, being locked up behind bars isn't going to stop someone.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is where, like, and I know this is, like, there's some element where I am taking the piss, but it's like all men should just be locked up and then every week you have to complete a task.
Prove that you should be let out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like like it's some of these stories are so sad, and I think there's one or two where the perpetrator's like a woman, which I find really interesting.
Yeah.
But oh my God, it's really well done. And also they have like little cartoons in them to like kind of
the animations.
Yeah. To like narrate the story. And I don't know. I find that a really fun way.
They're very well
like not
done.
Fun, but like, you know, it makes
it's engaging.
Yeah. It makes the storytelling more interesting.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But yeah, could not recommend it enough. If you love true crime, this one will make you really mad and really sad. And also never want to talk to a man again. Like, if a man came up to me and was like, hey, I actually think I really like you, I'd be like, I'm on to you. You sick, twisted son of a bitch. I know your plan.
People are like, oh, but, you know, it's not all men. You can't, like, hate men because of, like, a few. But the problem is you don't know until it's too late.
Yeah.
And it's like the more stories you hear about things, the more you're inclined to be like, well, I'm just safer if I don't fucking engage. And
yeah, like, I don't hate men, don't get me wrong. I just think the worst of everyone.
Yeah.
Until you convince me otherwise, I think you're out to get me.
When women are being killed all the time by the hands of men,
It's not safe to trust you, actually. Statistically speaking.
It's actually not safe for us to be in the same room as one another. So if a man comes up to me, of course I'm going to be like, you need to stay the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
Because you are going to kill me.
You're a threat.
Like.
You are a threat.
Like, put yourself in the shoes of a single woman.
Yeah.
What other choice do you have? Like, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And people just aren't who they say they are.
No,
that's the other problem.
No, like I don't know you from a bar of soap.
Look
mate.
at Dave Grohl. He's out here.
Jesus Christ.
He's fucking everyone.
If I'm not getting murdered, I'm getting cheated on. To be honest, I don't like either of those options.
You know what? I'm better off if I just sit at home and watch my TV shows by myself and play Dress to Impress.
Thank you.
Yeah, I might not be winning Dress to Impress.
Today's theme, not getting murdered.
Yeah. Facts. God forbid. Yes. It's nuts. I watched a movie. So Vulture released an article called like the 30 best movies on Netflix right now. And
I'm going to look it up while you talk because I'm going to see what's on there.
The list, it's broken up into categories or genres. And I was scrolling through it yesterday and I was like, there's some on there that look really good. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go through this list and watch the ones that I want. So one of the movies on there under drama was Dark Waters, starring not Mark Wahlberg.
Mark
Ruffalo, yeah. And Dark Waters is about, there's this company somewhere in America, like, I don't know, I think it's like Washington State or something. And it's called DuPont. And DuPont, I think this is based on a true story, but DuPont effectively invented Teflon, right? So like your
Anne Hathaway's in it too.
Yeah, your non-stick pans, all of that. So there's this guy, like this, he owns like a property with like all these animals and stuff. Anyway, he's really sick. All his animals keep dying and like weird shit keeps happening. So he goes and contacts this lawyer played by Mark Ruffalo. And he's like, something's happening. You need to like help me, like listen to me. Mark Ruffalo looks into it. Long story short, he discovers that DuPont have created these chemicals that are highly dangerous to humans. Like they cause cancers, they cause birth deformities, they cause all these problems. DuPont knows about it, right? And there's various like bits of evidence to prove that they know about the harms of it. But they went ahead and used it in Teflon, and they also then were like getting rid of these chemicals in like the local water system, burying it in like ground, so it was like killing animals and stuff. Anyway, so because it was in the local water system, people were drinking it in their everyday water, and it was slowly over time killing people. It was giving people like testicular cancers and like all sorts of different cancers. It was like rotting people's teeth. And eventually people would die. Like they were getting really, really sick from it. People who worked at DuPont over time were getting really sick and dying. So it's all about how like Mark Ruffalo then goes on, because I wasn't paying attention to the first part of the film, but he has an insider connection to DuPont. So he has access to all these documents. And the initial guy that comes to him, he gets like a settlement, right? But Mark Ruffalo's character's like, it's not good enough. I need to take these guys down. Like they're killing people. So he goes and does like a class action on behalf of like the citizens of like 70,000 people, right? And what part of what that requires is that they need to get samples from all these people, and the scientists need to be able to link that there's chemicals in these people that are causing these illnesses. They submit like 60,000 samples.
Wow.
Right? Huge. It's like the biggest number of samples ever in like some kind of study. It takes years, like 4 or 5 years for them to get a response. Finally, one day, Mark Ruffalo gets, and in that time, all the residents are getting pissed off because they've found out what's been happening. And then they know that Mark Ruffalo is like fighting for them, and they're like, oh my God, yeah, like I'm going to get, like someone's trying to help us. But then they hear nothing for 4 or 5 years because they're waiting for the results of this study to be able to actually go through the class action. Anyway, one day Mark Ruffalo finally gets a call, and the scientist is like, you will not believe, but all of your participants came back with this in their system, and we can confidently say that this causes, and then list all these cancers and all these things. So then he's able to go forward with the class action. Anyway, he ends up winning, and he's like there was like 3,000 individual cases that he was representing off the back of it as part of the class action thing. And he won every single one of them and took DuPont to town, and they had to pay out all this fucking money to people. And every time, like every single case, he won more and like gradually more and more money for it. It was like crazy. Anyway, the story of it was really interesting. Yeah, it was a really interesting story and like sad that like this company knew what they were doing and they still did it anyway. I would say the film, like it's a 2.5 hour film.
Oh my God.
It's a slow, like it's not exactly the most gripping film. Mm-hmm. But from about halfway, once he figures out what's going on, then it like that's probably the best part of the film.
That's a lot. That's a big commitment.
I would probably rate it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I think the story concept was fantastic and very interesting. I honestly think it would be very interesting as like a podcast.
Yeah.
Like a journalist.
I could get behind that.
Yeah. Like a so many part podcast. I would prefer to consume it that way, I think. The movie, it was just like, yeah, it didn't hit the spot with the movie.
Fair.
But fantastic film otherwise.
Good story.
Yeah, there's another movie that I want to watch called Carol, and it's about, I think it's set in the 50s or something like that. And
it's Kate Blanchett.
And it's about this woman who is having like a same-sex affair. And like obviously with those times being gay was a whole thing. So I'm very interested to watch that. It's giving like My Policeman vibes.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Have you seen My Policeman?
No, but you've told me about it, so
Dude,
technically I have. I've watched it with my ears.
You need to watch it. It's so good.
I don't think I will.
Honestly phenomenal. It's one of my favorite movies, I would say.
Anything romancy.
Yeah, okay. It's so sad though.
The gays or the straights, to be honest. like I just, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do romance. I'm afraid. Tell the people about that doco that you were trying to watch, but I can't find where it is.
So I was trying
What's
to watch.
It called?
It's called The Family I Had. So on TikTok, I was getting these clips for this doco called The Family I Had, and I googled it, and Google was telling me I could watch it on Amazon Prime, so I searched. Not on Amazon Prime. Told me I could watch it on Apple TV. Searched. Couldn't watch it on Apple TV. So I have not yet found where I can watch it. And what I'm saying right now, I got all from TikTok, so it might not all be accurate. But essentially,
we haven't fact checked this.
Essentially, the documentary is about this young boy, and him and his younger sister are being babysat. And he somehow convinces the babysitter, "Oh, we don't need you anymore." I think it's for like the last hour or something. He's like, "We don't need you. You can go home." Babysitter goes home, and this boy kills his younger sister. Anyway, apparently his mum was like a drug addict, or like heavily used drugs, and he killed his little sister as a way, like as a fuck you to the mum for choosing drugs over him.
It's on Tubi TV.
Oh God, what the fuck? What the fuck is Tubi TV?
I think it's for free. I think, yeah.
I'll need to watch it on my iPad or something.
Yeah, it's an iPad app.
Yeah. Anyway, it looks really interesting. So I haven't seen it, but I want to see it.
I'm going to fact check it and download it and just make sure.
Okay.
But yeah, that sounds crazy.
Right. I also watched...
I think I'm in a doco mood this week.
Same.
I think I'm really in a doco mood.
I also watched... I can't remember if I spoke about this last week, but there's a TV show on Disney Plus called English Teacher. And there's like 3 episodes out. It's giving like Abbott Elementary, New Girl, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, that kind of sitcom style. So good. Sometimes I find the newer ones aren't as good, but this one's really good and I want more episodes. The second thing I watched was Buying London. So Selling Sunset, but in London. Mm-hmm. It's not as good as some of the other ones that are out there, but it definitely like... If you love those shows and you've watched them all, this will fill your cup.
It's on there.
Oh, nice. Let's watch it today at my birthday party.
Done.
Buying London was good. Very interestingly, apparently the houses in London are way more expensive than anywhere else. Like per square foot, you're paying way more than anywhere else in the world. The houses they're just a different kind of insane. Like, the houses in London are particularly central London, just so different to what you see in like LA and all of that.
Really?
The interiors I find are like, it's a unique style. Like, it's a bit dated, and they keep banging on about, oh my God, all the history in this house, all the history.
Do you prefer like the LA houses or the London houses?
There's some London houses, particularly the ones on like the outskirts of London that they've shown so far, which are on like 26 acres. Oh, wow. They're like manors.
Yeah.
I would die to live there, but I would completely redo the interior.
Right.
I think the look and feel of the ones in LA are more modern. I liked the characteristics of some of the London homes, but the interiors are just so dated. And I also have noticed, particularly in central London, where it's more like townhouses or penthouse apartments, whatever.
Smaller?
Well, there's that, but there's so many rooms with no windows.
Ew.
Like, so many rooms with no windows. And I'm like, oh, this feels like a den.
Yeah.
But the episode I'm up to, I think it's like 4 or 5. There's only like 7 episodes. They've gone to Dubai and they're looking at houses in Dubai because some of their like clientele want multiple properties around the world. The Dubai houses that they've shown so far, stunning. Really? I would live there. And also like what they've shown of like the areas where these people would live in Dubai. I don't know what I expected Dubai to look like, but it's not like, it's giving Miami, Florida kind of vibes. Also, there's a place in London, well not in London, but in the UK, south, like near Dorset, called like South Banks or something like that. And it's coastal and it looks like the Hamptons.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, what is this
Where
doing?
Where have you been hiding?
I think it would be the most interesting from a location, and the houses are so different. Yeah. But I would say the cast aren't as interesting or as likable as other ones.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're a bit annoying.
Yeah.
But that's what I've been watching.
There you go. Yeah, I haven't really been watching or listening to much else.
No, it's been a busy week. We've had lots of events.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But if you're looking for something to watch, everyone should go check out this 30 movies, like the 30 best movies on Netflix list by Vulture. I'll put it up on Instagram. It's a good list, and it's like so many different types of things to put up to watch. So that's what I'm referring to at the moment.
What I am going to watch this week, and I'm committing myself, I'm holding myself accountable. Everyone needs to hold me accountable to this too. Because I feel like every time I say I'm going to watch this, I actually don't.
Go and find something else.
Go and watch all 14 seasons of SpongeBob instead. Yeah. Hang on, give me 2 seconds. Is it even out yet?
What is it?
It should be. Hang on. If I can spell.
What should it be like season 15 of Simpsons?
Oh, it comes out on September 19. That's soon though. When is that?
Thursday.
Excellent. So on Thursday, I will be watching Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez story.
I don't know anything about this story, but I keep getting the preview like artwork on Netflix.
So it's by the people that did Dahmer, Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer case. And how have you not heard of Lyle and Eric?
Tell me what it's about.
Let me get.
I feel like I have, and I think I have an inkling of what it's about. Did they kill their parents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, they are probably one of the like crimes where they would get a fuckload of fan mail and a fuckload of like female fans. Ooh. Because they don't look like your traditional crim. Like, hang on.
Okay, but like, how pathetic are we as women that we look at men like this and we go, I don't care that you've murdered people.
Smash. Yeah.
Smash.
Yeah.
Like, it's, don't get me wrong, like, I'm all for like a little joke.
Yeah, but LOL. No, but these women are dead serious.
But yeah, we're not actually writing fan mail to these people. Like, come on, get a grip,
that's
women.
Like the Night Stalker and how he was getting fan mail. Like, that's crazy
Like,
behavior.
Women, come on, we're better than that.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. Men do not deserve female attention, let alone these men. Yeah, okay.
I don't want to give too much away, but it's about two brothers and they end up going to trial for the murder of their parents, but then they claim that they were abused as kids.
Yeah, okay.
So
that's not really an excuse.
Yeah, very interesting. But the people that made the Jeffrey Dahmer one did it so incredibly well, and it was so interesting. So I'm so excited for that to drop. That's
them now, apparently.
Yeah.
Look at you trying to look through the mic.
I can't.
Well, that was 2016 and 2018.
And I don't have my glasses on. I wonder what the process is with like making stuff about
I get it. But they killed
I want
two
that
people.
outfit.
Yeah. Facts.
What's the process for like when people make documentaries or movies about crimes that have happened where the perps are still in prison?
What do you mean?
Like, you can't get paid for that, right?
So I think it's based on country. Like I know in Australia, well, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that you cannot make money off of the crimes that you've been convicted of in Australia. Yeah. That might not be the case in the US.
Right.
But that's not to say that like someone can make a story or make something or do something based on you and probably make money on it, but it's the criminal at hand that can't make money off of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
But everyone should fact check that because that could be like not. But I'm pretty sure like Chappell Corby wasn't able to make money off of her story.
No, and I don't think you should be able to.
No.
But yeah. No, that'll be a good watch.
Mm-hmm.
What else is coming out?
I'm not sure. Tell Me Lies season 2, the first few episodes are out now.
I've seen people react to it on TikTok and people are saying it's bananas.
I've started watching it, but it's not gripping me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right.
I forgot how ugly the lead male is. And it's really hard.
What's it about? I haven't watched season 1, so
It's like this. So this girl goes to college and she meets this guy, the ugly one, and they have this like tumultuous.
Yep, tumultuous
relationship, and then like at the start of season 1, her roommate dies. Right.
Oh.
I think she's like killed in a hit and run or something like that, or in a car accident. Anyway, somehow the ugly guy's tied to it. Her and the ugly guy have this really toxic relationship and they're like blackmailing one another.
Oh.
Season 1 ends like 8 years later and he's engaged to like one of her friends. She's like still miserable and tied up on it all. Season 2 is like meant to be their second year of college or something. And
they're in college, right?
I love season 1. I did. I loved season 1. And I think I will love season 2 if I just sit down. I've just got to be in the mood for it.
Yeah.
But I just can't get past the fact that he's like, I need a hot
that
male.
He's ugly. You can't get past the fact that he's ugly.
How am I supposed to like believe that he's worth all this drama if he looks like the way that he does?
And like he sounds like a bit of a scumbag.
Every time he comes up on screen, I'm like, oh,
this man again?
Yes.
Oh, God.
So yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, right. Are you reading anything at the moment?
No.
Yeah, right.
I'm over that already. But I think that's it because I need to go drink.
Yeah, you need to set up to drink.
I need to go. Mum and Dad are going to be at my house in 14 minutes.
That is how long it takes to get to yours. So that's perfect. Alrighty. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. You're welcome for giving you a short episode this week.
I actually don't think it was that. I think it was normal.
It's less than 2 hours. Anyway, have a good week.
And we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Roger. Love you. Bye.
Bye.